live.
Clint, are we live yet?
No,
Clint.
no comments.
Oh, no comments yet.
What's going on?
Are we live? Are we really live? Are we really? If no one is here to comment, are we really live? I tried to be all theoretical, but just failed at it.
What's going on here?
I don't know.
Let's just talk about spitting fish all night.
I guess we're live, but I don't see.
Oh, there we go.
Seeing something pop up on the screen. Oh, here we go.
Jeez.
What's up?
It's on both.
Is it on both?
People took forever to comment.
I don't see anything on.
Dang. What's up, everybody?
What's going on, everybody? Chrome addiction. Now, see, that's a name. Steelhead obsession isn't. It's only steelhead. It's like no salmon.
Steel.
Chrome addiction. See, chrome obsession.
I kind of got this idea. I'm not gonna say it, but
Oh, forget it. It's a lie.
yeah,
It's all a lie.
it's a plan.
It's a plan.
It's a
I
plan.
know the name of mine.
Looks hungover. Way to start the show. It's like, no, you're talking to two guys that were up at 4 a.m. fishing steel and catching steelhead all day today. That's what you're looking at.
And been doing it for the last 16 days in a row.
Come on,
So
man. Come on.
yeah, let me have it.
And guess what? We're gonna do it tomorrow too. Ooh.
And the next day,
All right.
and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day,
That hook was sharp.
and the next day, and the next day.
Oh man, making money sucks.
I was
I
saying,
hate it.
until it rains and then
Oh,
you
God.
guys make so much money.
Oh.
No, I wish.
You can
Yeah.
All right. Okay, what do we got going on here? Oh, we have some Facebook comment. Josh Pegadwan from Midland, Washington. Got some Facebookers. There's James Calvert from Facebook. Cool, we got everybody in. Good evening, Mr. Jim Blondo. Let's see here. Howdy from Seattle, Washington. Says Washington Fishing Adventures. Hello, tuning in from Garibaldi. Banger walleye out there. Got a 24-incher. Pretty sick. Hungover sounds better. No.
Absolutely
Jeez,
not.
there's no time for that right now if you're actually fishing, bro.
Yeah.
It's like March. It's like steelhead season, which is why we're talking Springer stuff tonight.
Get out there and
Makes
go
sense.
twirl some herring.
Makes sense. Todd says, thank you, Clint. You're amazing. And Todd is a kiss ass.
Todd wants to win free stuff.
Todd, come on, Todd.
Todd knows the
I
drill.
take Todd steelhead fishing, and trust me, he just says it's all an act. He just tries to make Clint feel better, but he really hates him, Scott. It's pretty funny.
He changed his tune. He used to be a hater. He used to be a hater.
Oh, let's see here. Washington Fishing in the house. Big camera at the Sportsman Show. Eastside my hat. Do you remember me? Of course I do.
No, you don't. Describe them.
Just shut up. When are the glasses dropping? I don't know. I saw Mike doing some inventory stuff with that today, but I don't think we have an official announcement on the glasses yet. Probably before summer.
I would think so.
Probably.
That'd be a timely.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's trophy water season. It's winter bass season. It's a lot of season. That's right, James. The superior fish, the winter bass. Yes. 100%.
Yeah, did anyone go smelt dipping today?
Did anybody go smelt dipping today? Yes. I was curious. Did anybody find anything total still out in Columbia?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So it sounds
look at
like
Back down, I guess, from what I heard.
I think Cam and Clint Laurie done. Let's go. We're switching. Let's go.
You
We're
want,
gonna talk Aaron Clint.
you want me to switch?
Yeah, we're doing it. I'm going to sit here and talk smell with Patrick. Yeah, we're doing it.
Oh, look at
Here
Jason.
we
He's
go.
so excited.
Here we go.
Okay, Jason,
All right.
you ready to talk? Okay, Cameron, move it over so I can see how many people we're watching.
There you go.
New comment.
Got
Come on,
it.
would
We
you
already have
produce?
new comments.
Cameron, new comments. I
We
can't see my
already have new
comments.
comments. Hey,
dude, easy on
hey,
the desk.
This is what Marlon. This is what you guys do the whole time.
Yeah,
you
I know.
guys?
How many people we got watching?
I'm freaking
I can't even
nice
see
to
how
you,
many
bro.
Right there,
This is
right
what he
there.
does the whole time.
Hey, tell people to like and share this out. Come on,
All
you
right.
can do it.
Sorry, that was just me doing a little cam.
Okay, be
No,
the
no,
host.
no, no. You're
All
in it. You're
All right,
enjoying
so
it now,
yeah.
bud.
Comment where you're tuning in from. Let us know. We're going to have a special guest in here today. We're going to be talking. This is going to be our first episode talking all
Episode?
about, well, live feed.
Come on.
Oh my God! Now I'm getting it from Jason. I almost called you something else. But
Don't do it.
But yeah, it's Springer time, everybody. So how many people have gone out and tried catching a Springer? If you've already gone out, Charles is commenting. I know Charles already got one. He got one on his first shakedown trip.
Lucky dog. I think
And
he
pretty
cheated.
early.
I think it was a frozen fish from last year. I think he cheated.
And pretty
It's a
early
frozen
in his
one.
troll. I don't never get on iFish anymore, so I don't know if they still do that competition and someone's. But I
Nobody
did
cares
see
about iFish. Sorry.
they
I said
did.
it.
I did see that someone took theirs in for
The
the
Fisherman's.
Fisherman's Marine
Yep.
Springer contest and already won. So
Saw that.
and
Well, get people to sign up. We need to get few more guests in here.
all right, we'll keep sharing this out here, you guys. Spam it into
Thumbs up,
groups. Thumbs
like
up it
it,
on YouTube.
Share it, text it.
Share it on Facebook. This is the first Springer live feed
There we
of
go.
many
Live feed.
that we're going to do. And
Yep.
again, we have a very special guest in here. We're going to be talking everything herring. He's special. He's very special. He parked in the special parking spot when he came in here today.
Hey, where's our main sponsor on this screen? Oh, I see it right here. I got it. Okay, hold on. And now go.
And a huge thank you to Stevens Marine, as always, for sponsoring this live feed.
Okay, I have to say something because, I'm going to interject real in here for Stevens Marine because I got to give him a huge shout. No, you stay right there.
You want me
get
in
back
here
there.
for reals?
Get back in there.
Okay.
Huge shout out to Stevens Marine. I blew my jet up, right? I've had a 6 years old Mercury motor. Blew it up. I don't know what I did. I probably didn't grease it. Actually, I know I greased it, but after 6-7 years, it finally died. And they got the part, and they got it. Actually, it only cost about half as much as it did. They got me in. They got me out. They knew what they were doing. Ran the boat today. I swear, the jet was performing way better.
Way better.
Than
Oh,
it
I'm
has in
sure.
the last couple of years.
I'm
So
sure.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, the service guys at Stevens Marine and Tiger. Dude, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. I always do. Huge shout out. If you guys have any technical questions, need to buy a boat, need to buy a loom wall, anything like that, if you don't go to Stevens Marine, you're an idiot. End of story. Get it. They're experts. Okay, go ahead.
There you go, especially with Mercuries. But so, Cameron, how many months out of the year are you running a jet on your boat? 7 or 8?
This year is going to be about 9.
9 months out of the year,
Yeah.
and you're going pretty hard. So that is a lot of, over 6 years, that's a lot of wear and tear on your jet.
Yeah, I would say so. That can take a toll on a
And the
jet.
jets aren't made, guys, by Mercury. They're not made by Yamaha. They're made by Outboard Jets, and so it's kind of its
Yeah.
own.
And it's really
Beast
one
on
company
it.
that makes them for everyone.
exactly.
So, it doesn't matter what your motor is. It's all the same lower, made by the same people. I know my Evinrude, my old boat that I had one on, same thing. I bought a jet afterwards and put it on, and it's all made by the same people. So,
There we go.
yeah.
All right, what else is going on?
What else is going on? We're going to have do we know, when's the drop? When's the calendar drop?
No, we don't have. No. Don't talk about the drop.
Talk about the drop?
No
Don't
drop.
talk about the
Well,
drop.
fuck, we always have a drop upcoming. So when that is, I have no idea. I'm not going to say.
Nobody
But
knows.
there's always a. What are you commenting?
Nothing. No. Keep talking. This is what I get to deal with. All the distraction that you do back here.
Yeah.
When I'm trying to do. But go ahead.
Oh,
keep
I
going.
thought you were posting something
No.
inappropriate.
No, I would never do that.
See, Clint looks like he knows what he's doing. Thank you,
Yep.
Derek.
Yep.
I appreciate that. I know
You're
how to.
doing
I know how to spin a herring, and
You're
I know
doing
how to
great, guy.
troll a 360. And those are the two things that I can do.
Talk about that.
Talk about what?
The comment on the screen.
What does it say? Had an awesome day on the river today with Jason. If you hadn't had a chance to get on the water with him, check him out. Steel Obsession Guide Service. There you go.
Kevin had one of those days.
What's
couldn't-
one of those days? Tell me about
He
it.
could not do anything wrong.
How many did he get?
I think he landed four himself, and then my other guy had a couple other chances and landed one himself. So it was a pretty good day for the season that we're having. I'll take 5 fish.
I see that. March 23rd.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Then there's that. There's the answer. I just wanted to make sure that nothing had changed because things change a lot around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
March 23rd, Marlon is saying is the upcoming drop. So for those of you that don't know,
Mark
could
your
not-
calendars, bros.
yeah, mark your calendars.
It's happening.
There's always usually limited stuff that goes on sale, right? I'm guessing it's a Sunday. It usually comes out right at the end of an episode. And I know a lot of the drop stuff is for all of you people that could not make it out to one of the sportsman shows. It's a lot of the same products that we sold at the sportsman show. And then I'm sure there's going to be some other limited stuff in there as well. So make sure you check out the website, the 23rd. It's usually right after the episode that comes out on Sundays.
Yep.
So check that out. There's always going to be lots of cool stuff in there. I'm sure I will be buying and spending more money on products that I don't probably necessarily need.
But you gotta have.
Well, yeah.
You have to, because if you don't have it, you won't catch any springers.
Well, that's me.
Luck.
If you've seen my garage, ask Katrina. She's like, there's more things in my garage than a tackle store that are still have never touched water. But
hey, man, that's how
you
they
got to
keep their
have
value
it.
sometimes.
I mean, yeah, and it's got to go in the boat. Okay, I will say this: springer fishing, I think, flasher colored. Most of the time, I would say it doesn't matter. I have seen where it does matter. What does everyone else think? Because I have had days.
Chrome dip. That's all you need.
Okay,
6 of them out.
Cameron. Who fishes something?
I don't say that for springers, so I don't know what you're trying to pull.
Oh,
here.
you don't?
I'm really
I
confused.
thought you were.
No,
I'm really confused, but I do
That's
want to
what I
see
do.
Marlon. If you're still on, what do you think for the boat drawing? When do you think that when should we announce that? Because that's like the third different question I've seen on here for that.
Well, we were telling people it was after the last bash.
It's gonna be a couple weeks after the last batch.
So we just had the last bash, you guys, down in
Redmond.
Redmond.
The old. What is it? Is it the Central Oregon Sportsman Show?
Central Oregon Sportsman Show.
Yeah.
We did the movie premiere down there. It was an awesome crowd, great turnout. And for those of you that don't come, that one's worth a drive. I have to say, that's probably the best venue to watch our movies at. The way they have it set up, we're in a building basically by ourselves. They got smoke machines, lasers, lights.
It is pretty cool.
It's good vibes. It's really cool to check out the movie there at that one. So if you have to pick and choose and drive, I think that one's a good one to drive to.
I agree.
But we all had fun. I'm not going to lie. I'm glad it's over. And now we're on to springer fishing.
Yeah, thank God. I was getting sick of those. I was getting sick of getting sick.
I was getting sick again.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
Oh, Dakota,
you
we're
that
trying to
don't
get you
know-
the answer. Dakota, we're trying to get you the answer on that as far as the.
We're working on it, Dakota.
Yeah, it could be next week. It could be a couple out. I just don't.
I know usually Marlon likes to do that himself. So Marlon's in California right now doing stuff. So I'm assuming the next time Marlon's back in the live feed, I'm guessing.
Don't
is when
assume
we're
that.
gonna do it.
We'll get an answer from him. He'll tune it back on.
It's usually right before we do a live feed when Marlon's here. He calls.
Very good.
So I take it we don't do it during the live feed, but we do it. If history repeats itself, we'll do it again right before a live feed when Marlon is here. But yeah, start getting your questions ready.
Let's bring our special guest in.
This is going to be herring fishing.
Yeah, let's bring our special guest in. This is going to be all about herring.
All about herring.
It's going to be all about herring because
spinning them
we're going to... Oh, wait. Stop. Someone else suggested on here and I missed it. Put together a prize pack for me right there, Clint. We're making you do the job. Put the prize pack together.
You want me to give
rice.
away these?
Absolutely.
No,
not.
absolutely not.
How about
Those are
these
mine.
ones? No? All right, Jason's on it.
Yeah, we're
Jason's
gonna get a
done this
giveaway
one.
for you
You're doing
guys.
a flavor?
Jason's on it, and because I want to be the randomizer.
Oh, is this for the herring?
Can't wait to
Yeah.
This makes
randomize.
sense.
Yeah. So I'm just basically proving that anybody can do this job.
Anybody can do it. That is 100% fact.
Yeah,
I
we
do
don't
not
really
claim.
have-
I have never claimed to be a producer, a podcast editor, a sound guy, a set designer. I've worn, how many different hats have I worn at Addicted over the years?
You know what? If you work at Addicted,
So-
you have to wear a million hats. Everybody does.
I mean, for the people that don't know, when the store first started going, I was highly involved in that back when we were running it out of a basement of a business in like a closet. Of course, Mike was in it, but it was me and Mike running the store.
Prize back.
And yeah, I mean, just like anything, I got fired from that, which is fine. No, it was good. It was good. It was a blessing in disguise because it ended up. I mean, it's to the point now where he has 5 5 full-time employees in the shop working. That's how much.
Well, or they could have just had you, but he chose to go with the 5
No,
employees.
I could. I'm not going to say that. I could not do the work that those guys do down there. Because for those of you that know, we all have full-time jobs.
I'm going to click this like button right here and see what it does.
What button?
Will this like do anything cool? Oh, and I lost everybody.
Nice.
Everyone's gone. Everyone's
Nice.
gone. Everyone.
Hey, Cameron producing everybody.
There we go. There. I'm in it. I'm
And
in
we're
it.
back.
Even
Hey, go to side cam and show the prize pack and shut
even
your
an
mouth.
idiot can produce.
Show. Oh, you're not. It's not plugged in. You got to plug it in because the producer didn't plug it in at the start of the thing.
It's plugged
Bro,
in.
this 360 looks
I hit
sick.
side cam. Side camera or main?
Side camera.
That looks like the one that
Yeah.
Springer was caught on yesterday.
Oh.
It's just
Okay,
like
It's unplugged.
main cameras. Oh, there it is. You got it.
Oh
Whatever
my
you
God.
did. Show the
Boom.
prize pack, and then we're gonna pick a winner. For those of you guys that commented below, if you comment, you're automatic. If you're commenting and engaging in this live feed, you're gonna get hooked up, and we've got some pretty good gifts here.
Is your
That's
mic still on? Can they hear you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just making sure. I'm just trying to sub-produce.
Filet-
So
ahead.
we've got the mirror dipped dot and bloody tuna oil and bloody tuna super gel for the prize pack. Let us know when you're going springer fishing next.
When are you going Springer fishing? Ends the feed.
When are you guys going?
Shut up. I just killed it all.
Saturday.
Oh,
for
look,
me.
people are commenting now. Yeah, kids these days. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. I'm just here for the plug slam.
slams.
Bloody tuna is the bee's knees. I would agree.
That's a sexy flasher.
That flasher, you know, I'm not going to lie. I actually busted it
It's
out
a
at Bowie
cool
10
tip.
a little bit last fall.
Dude.
This one?
Yeah.
All
Gotta
right,
go
we're
close.
good on side cam. Watch your foot. Oh, you're
Oh
good.
man, you just broke it.
You're good.
Oh,
Oh,
can we get Cameron in there? Where's Cameron?
I'm hiding, just like you. Everyone's this weekend,
Yeah, dude,
weekend,
that
next
thing's
weekend,
sick.
April 14th. That's right.
No, that's a good one. I will say these are like sometimes JT sends Marlin stuff to give away. They're kind of one-offs, different weird things.
No, that one they sold.
Oh, did they?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
I know
dude,
I got
that's
some
like,
from him.
that's
I would agree with that, but I don't know.
that's my
Maybe
style.
he does, but I will say like last year, Charles grabbed one of those, and I know he was banging fish on one with that dot, and he kept trying to figure out where he got it, and he got it from Marlin's garage, and you know
Where all the stuff
one
goes
day-
to die.
Yeah,
You know.
no, it doesn't die. It gets pillaged.
I was gonna
People-
say I'd
people
probably
take
take it.
April 16th is when I'll start low-holing Jason. Always
Ooh,
a
April
plus.
16th.
Nice,
Yeah.
bro.
That's the new.
No,
We've moved on. The new low hole is Jason. So
no, we
the-
got a.
No, the low hole Clint
No.
ran its course. It's
I-
over and done with.
Okay,
It's-
I'm picking
I know-
a winner.
I know what
Here
we're gonna
comes
do,
the winner,
AJ.
everybody.
All right. Oh, look at this randomizer.
I'm
I know what we're
randomizing the
gonna
living
do, AJ.
snot out of it right now. This
Wouldn't it be hilarious?
is how a real randomizer works. This is
got
how a real randomizer works. But if you lose and you don't like it, you still have to blame Clint.
I got
not
a
me.
plan, AJ.
Watch. This is. Oh my! Look at this randomizer.
Boom. That's your winner.
Pacific Northwest Prepped Outdoorsman. I know him.
Prepared.
Oh, prepared.
Prepared. Prep.
Prepared.
Prepared.
Come
Oh,
on, man.
Pacific
You
Northwest
idiot. Be
Prepared
literate.
Outdoorsman. I know him. We're friends. I take him fishing all the time. He actually booked a trip with me Wednesday.
Oh,
I don't know how you always pick people that I know. Like, what type of randomizer is?
Why are
Rigged.
you booking trips on Wednesday? You don't have a guide
Rigged.
license in the state of Washington. We need to turn you in. For
You
freaking
have
guiding.
Pacific
Show us your
Northwest.
logbook.
Pacific Northwest Prepared
Where's your logbook,
Outdoorsman.
boy?
You have one.
He's got
The
an
price
email, but we gotta wait for the producer to pull the email up here. Really
Oh,
quick.
hold on. Oh,
he's
I
gotta
forgot.
know. Hang
Hold on. It's
Come
not
on,
that hard.
produce.
I just have to
You're
find
not
it
even
because you have
close.
everything so
Cold,
disorganized
warmer,
and crazy.
Warm. Down. 2, 1. Down one more.
Boom.
There you go.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
Email
weird.
orders.
There you
Oh,
go.
it's a movie because it's
So,
a graphic.
yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, it's not a scene, it's an overlay. So, email orders at addicted.fishing and you're going to get yourself a prize pack. Let us know what you won, include your address, and the boys will get that shipped out to you. So, thanks so much for playing.
All right.
And yeah, come on in.
let's
special guest.
let's bring this guy in. He knows a thing or two about twirling.
How do I
some
get
hair.
rid of it?
It'll go away after a minute, or you
okay,
can
got
click
it.
it.
Sorry. I can do
Yeah,
it.
grab
pop,
a mic,
pop that thing on.
Turn it on. Put it on first. How many people know who this is?
Yeah, introduce yourself and let's
Comment
on, you
comment on
guys
who
Yeah,
who it is.
let them guess first.
Who it is.
Can you tuck it down my blouse for me?
Down your blouse. Ooh,
Yeah.
okay. Why are you wearing a blouse, you weirdo?
Hey, our winner's still in, so that means he's actually going to claim it. Sometimes people win if they bail and they don't know that they won. We don't get an email, and that just grows into the next week.
I will say, though, now that Colt is mailing out the giveaways, for some strange reason, they're always gone every week, and Colt mails them. Do you remember when Mike would mail the giveaways, and they just, no one claimed them?
Weird.
Weird.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that either. BMAC, yes, it's Patrick Gaffney. So Patrick, introduce yourself. Tell people who you are, what you do.
Yeah, Patrick Gaffney, Gaffney's Guide Service, and I help run and catch and operate harbor herring. A little bit of everything: commercial fishing, sport fishing, anything that swims. I'm trying to chase it
Nice.
with a net or a pole or pot or what have you.
Yes, and you brand your herring under two names too, though.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, we do a few different labels for people, but our labels are Harbor Herring and Point Defiance label.
Is there any difference between them?
Same fish, just different packaging.
Just different packaging.
Yeah, and we acquired that from a guy who used to do it, and the brand was really popular. It used to be non-vacuum packed back in the day, and we acquired it, and then just for the sake of time, we just try to keep, it's like a big assembly line when we're packaging herring and stuff. So we just decided to go with the vacuum seal route, and seems to be working out.
So pretty much this guy is the key to your guys' Springer success this year on the Columbia River.
It is.
We'll see.
As far as herring goes. So explain to the people, give everybody a little bit of a synopsis of what's going on with the herring situation for all those guys that forgot to get bait and realize their Springer's getting killed right now.
Yeah. Right now, if you're looking to get a case of bait, you shouldn't have a problem finding a case of green label, fresh green label. You probably will have a hard time sourcing reds right now until about May. We put up quite a few, it seems like red labels, catching them wise, it's like I swear it's like an every other year type of thing. This year it was pretty good. We put up a lot of bait, but with that, a lot of bait was bought. So we're not drowning in reds right now at our company. A lot of it already went out the door.
Right.
But there's probably a few distributors around here in Oregon that still have some. The greens, you shouldn't have a problem finding greens. It was pretty good bait this year, not too big, not too small, just kind of that nice middle of the road green label. So
what you're telling us is we can't buy it from you and get the hookup. We're going to have to go to the stores and buy it like everyone else.
Can't get no reds from me right now, bud.
All right. So along those lines,
I need
greens,
some.
reds, if we're talking about it, describe what that means. So it's the color on the label, right?
Yep.
So as you're shopping for them, it's the color of the label. And then what are the different sizes associated with the colors?
The color of the label has to do with the size of fish. So red label is 5.5 to 6 inches total length. Green label 6 to 7. Blue label 7 to 8. And then for the halibut, lingcod, bottom fish guys, they have purple label 8 to 9, and then black label, those big horse herring, which is like 9-10 inches and up.
Yeah.
Is there smaller than red?
They're smaller. You have orange label, and that's about a 5-inch bait. And then there's actually yellow label, which is we don't even produce those, but they're like 4 inches.
I don't think I've ever seen. I've seen all the other ones. I've never seen
tiny
yellow.
guys.
Yeah.
And I encounter them when I'm out fishing. I try to stay away from them because that's your future right there.
Right.
The market's not very strong for it, so we don't even mess with it. We encounter that small bait, we tend to go to a different area and let those ones get a little bigger. So,
is there any correlation when you say like this year it's hard to capture reds and you got mostly greens? Does that correlate into a healthier ocean and the fish? That's why they're bigger, and we can maybe expect.
No, it's just that between a red label they grow. So like in the early spring, most of the fish you encounter, they're that yellow, orange, you get some pockets of red swimming around. But as summer goes on and there's more feed in the water, the fishes grow. You know, the life cycle of a herring is only a couple years. So that red that I catch in June, he'll be a green depending on how much feed's around by, you know, July. And then they'll stay greens for a while, and then they'll start feeding some more, and then that green will turn into a blue, and then, you know, so on and so on
and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. But yeah, if you guys need herring, I think all of us addicted guys primarily use Patrick's herring. We use it for a reason because of his process. We'll get him describing his process here of what he does to make them so amazing here. But for people going out and picking out herring, so a lot of people aren't going to be as fortunate as us, where I'm buying I'm buying 4 cases of greens from you right now, and they're in your truck, and I'm going to be taking
the heater on.
With the heater on, no. But other people are going to go to the stores, and a lot of people, you know, unlike guides and stuff like that, they're not buying cases. They're just going and buying a couple trays for the days they're going. So what should people look for when they're trying to pick out herring in the stores?
Yeah, no, I mean, speaking for just the weekend warrior or the guy trying to go out a little bit, my biggest thing when I go to a store, if I wanted to pick out a tray of bait, you're looking for a couple of things. One, the packaging hasn't been broken.
Yeah.
You know, if it's a vacuum sealed bait, you don't want it to be busted. The dead giveaway for any bait is the eyes. You want fish with clear or white pupils. That is a dead giveaway that fish has been frozen fast, and I think those ones, I pulled them out to de-thaw, but you can still see the white.
They still have white in their eyes.
That means that fish has not been frozen and defrosted, because a tray of bait that's been defrosted and tried to be refrozen will not gain that white back in its eyes.
Yeah, so talk about that a lot, because like Clint tried to hold really still,
Okay.
so you see the white. Oh, I'm not.
Dude, those things look dialed.
Those are Clint's bait, so that's the second tier. There's a few with some missing scales.
You give it the B squad.
That's some B grade bait right
If you guys look right in the middle of that black pupil, you'll see that little spot
yeah,
of white.
it's starting to go away, but yeah, that
little
white.
spot right there.
Yep.
This one's probably the best right
Yeah.
here. Let me try to hold on this one.
Yep, there you go. That white is a dead giveaway that bait, when it was handled and processed, was frozen fast, and it has not been thawed out and tried to be refrozen. So out of anything, before the scales, before anything, I mean, scales is what sells, but to a true quality bait is going to have that frozen pupil, that white eye. I will put that first above anything else. Starve time, minimum of 2 weeks. You got to get all that feed out of their guts. Got to get all that, lactic acid or whatever it is, all that stuff out of their guts. And you got to have a good quality frozen bait that hasn't been handled too much. So that's what you're looking for. And you can see the difference. One's vacuum packed still, and one I popped the seal on. So if you see the vacuum packing not fully sealed.
Looking like this. Here, yep. Side cam again, Cam.
That's the difference.
So I would not grab one that looks like this out of the freezer. And you see them like that every once in a while, right? Like, it happens.
But with that, though, like our Point Defiance brand, that's how they did every tray. And Nick Popoff, that's all he used to buy was Point Defiance herring. And that's how he got it back in the day, was non-vacuum packed bait.
Huh. He's pretty good at
He catches herring. A few. So he can attest, it's not like, it's not an end-all, save-all kind of thing, but if I was to choose a bait between a whole freezer full, I would grab the one that had a good seal on it.
Yeah. And the different labels, are they primarily like one sold more up north or California?
Yeah, it's just different
like
markets in different regions, and then you got buyers who've been buying the same thing for years and years. They're just comfortable with it, and their customers are comfortable with a certain label. So
I know you talked about the white eye, but another thing I've heard, if they do defrost and then start to get frozen again, you'll see blood and stuff.
You'll start seeing blood, especially if that vacuum seal hasn't been popped.
Right.
That vacuum seal will just squeeze blood out of their gills. And the same goes for anchovies too. Anchovies, they're so finicky that anything wrong, you know, they'll start getting blood coming out of their gills. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's any brown on the fins or anything like that, you know, that's indication of a freezer burnt bait. Just a nice, clean, shiny, just you can just tell.
Yeah.
You
You can tell by looking at yours. There's hardly any missing scales. I mean, every package that I've bought, and there's, I mean, not to say anything bad about other brands. It just might be the way, the steps that they take or what they do. But I will say yours, I don't ever see any missing scales.
Yeah, you know, in the scale thing, it's very, you know, we have a crew of 5, 6 to 8 people during the summertime, you know, packaging fish, and you know, we have a standard that we set. So when it comes to the scale thing, it's, especially if you get like a new worker in the plant or something, it's hard to, sometimes they're not, you know, they don't have it in their head yet. So you'll see some trays that got like missing scales and stuff, and that might be indicative of like a newer person. You know, it's not a machine doing this; it's all done by hand. You know, so it's hard to control it sometimes, but we try our best. You know?
Well, walk them through your process, because I think that's something interesting. What I learned was, you know, you're unique in a way that from where you take the fish to where you package them, it's a lot closer than a lot of other people. So you have a whole process and a method to the madness. Why don't you tell people about what you do?
You know, we're in Gig Harbor, Washington, you know, where our net pens are. You know, I go out, I catch the fish, I transport them in our commercial boat to our net pens, and then they sit there for a minimum of 2 weeks. And like I said, for that, they need to shed the fat, you know, they need to get all that feed out of their stomachs. And our processing plant from our net pens is, you know, 5-minute car ride. Yeah. So with this bait compared to, you know, my competitors, you know, from the time we go and harvest that bait out of our net pens and bring it to our processing plant and get it trayed and frozen, it's cut in half compared to, you know, other processing plants, you know, and that keeps the freshness, the quality, you know, everything is just done faster. And when you can freeze something faster, vacuum pack it faster, you know, kill the bait and sort it, you just speed that time up, and you do it in small batches.
Yeah,
you come out with a better product.
Come out with a better product, and you can control it a lot better.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, one advantage we have is just the timing of us processing our bait is just, it's so much less than, you know, what other producers can do.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So now you've gone out, you've sourced your herring, you've bought it. It's frozen. You've chosen all the great packages out, and now you're getting ready to fish them. So, I mean, I'm curious to hear how the guy that actually catches these and gets them for everyone, what you do and how you get ready and prep them for spring and fishing for springers.
As myself, you know, taking clients out for hire in the springtime, you know, I have fresh bait every day. Now, granted, I'm lucky. I have the ability to have, you know, almost an unlimited quantity to myself, but I never fish second day old bait. I don't do it. Some guys do. Some guys have great success on it. That's not how I do things. I get the bait out, I put the holes in it, puncture the seal, I let it thaw out a little bit, I get my brine going, and as soon as I can separate this packaging away from the bait without pulling any scales off, because that's what happens if you try to pull it out of the package too early. It's like glue, you know, you'll rip scales off. To me, that's when it's time to put in the brine. Pull the packaging out, and I just put the whole thing. I don't pull them apart. I don't separate them, because I'm trying to mitigate scale loss.
Yeah.
These fish have been handled enough, so the less I can handle them, and I get them in that brine to get those scales set in that brine, the better off I think it is. So I get them about halfway through, you know, a third, halfway thawed out. I pull them out and I get them in the brine. To me, I try to get them as soon as I get done fishing on the river. You know, 2, 3, 4 o'clock. I want my bait for the next day in the brine. I want 10, 12 hours on it. You know, like I was saying earlier in the podcast, my bait, how I do it, to me, it's perfect, you know, come about noon. You know, it's a little early. You know, first thing in the morning. You know, I think it still needs a few hours, but by noon, it's perfect. And I'm okay. You know, like my baits, some of my brines I do, they'll get a little shriveled up. I'm okay with that. You know, you throw them in the water, they suck some water in, hydrate,
Yeah.
they're fine.
Yeah,
So,
mine looks shriveled in my brine for sure. So just like you said, you like yours doing it when you get off the water 4 or 5 the day before.
Yeah.
And then you're doing it, and you think they fish good by noon. I try to do mine even earlier than that because I think for the same reason. I feel like when I do mine the night before and then I start fishing the next morning, they're not as firm as I want them to be. So I honestly do mine either like 24 hours ahead of time. Like I'll do mine like 6 o'clock in the morning the day before I fish.
Yeah.
Or I do use 2-day-old or a day-old herring. So I save mine, but every day I go out, I also have a new batch. So I have new and old. I keep, and I kind of run through mine. I mean, I bought 4 cases of herring from Patrick, and for those of you that herring fished with me last year, you know I had trays in jars, and I had a minimum of 6 jars of different herring going on in my boat to have it ready.
Yeah. No, my rule of thumb is I try to bring a tray of bait per guy in my boat. You know, there's a lot of times I'm switching baits every pass.
Yeah.
You know, some guys they have good success on 2-3 week old bait. Some guys, you know, I know guys that they don't brine it. The water's cold enough. You know, they just pull it out of the package or throw some rock salt on top and they go. And they catch plenty.
No, I know guys that do that and they do catch. That's not me. What do you guys think? How long do you brine yours, and what do you brine it with?
Let's show those ProCure brines up there.
How much time do you like, Cameron?
I like at least overnight for sure, but someone was asking like what are the brines and stuff like that. If you guys are, go ahead.
All right, so this is a product from ProCure, one of our awesome partners. This is the bottled stuff. So this is the guide bottle. This is in a natural shine. You can see it has a little bit of blue to it, but it does not dye your baits blue. It's just got a bluing agent in it that just brightens your baits.
It makes them a little more blingy chrome.
It does. Really makes the scales pop and stand out. This is the same thing. There's no difference really between these two besides the size. I think they call this, they do, the guide size versus the non-guide size. So this is a chartreuse. Let me see if I got anything else down here. Do we got...
Got the powder.
That's what I'm looking for. The brilliant.
See, I'm not a liquid guy. I like the powder myself.
The liquid here, The liquid is very easy, but I am a powder. Look at that. Oh, there's some right there in that bin. Reach between Patrick's legs. Grab it.
This stuff.
There you go.
Yep.
That's rock solid.
That's the good stuff right there.
That's the good stuff.
Yep. That's the good stuff.
Zoom it
But
in.
let's. Whoo! You want side cam? All
Is
right,
it brown?
So open it up. Of course, it's brown. It's old.
Yeah, that's the good shit.
Yeah. I only got one hand, bro. All right. Oh, look at that. Look at it's chunky. All right. So we've had the guys from ProCure in here numerous times. And just like Patrick's saying, there is a bunch of people that go out and when they're shopping, they'll open these up and they'll look for these brown ones because they think it's different, a different formula, a different blend than the ones that are white. And I know because I've had mine, the minute this gets exposed to the air and moisture, one of the chemicals in there loves to pull a bunch of moisture out of the air. And when it does, it turns it that brown color. But it's no difference in the formula. It's no difference in what's in it. I mean, if you don't believe me, go to the store, buy one of these, open it up and set it outside, and it'll turn brown and get chunky just like that. So some people like it more brown. Some people like it more white. I know when the guys from ProCure were in here and talking us through it, they say it doesn't change the color of the bait. I don't know about that because I will say, like, I have mixed mine up with one that's this brown and chunky, and I pull my baits out, they do look a little brown. but I think as soon as I
You
get
don't
in the
think it makes
water,
a difference in the fish?
I don't think it makes a difference in the fish at all. But
you know, guys, we're going to be talking a lot. We're going to be bringing the guys about brining these baits here, and probably pretty quick. We might even do it ourselves next week. But I think the point of this matter right now, when we have Patrick in here talking to herring, if you're buying herring right now, because you need to have it for your bait, you need to be buying your brines too, because all your brines are going to be sold out in a couple of weeks. Guaranteed.
Everything.
salt.
Well, you should already be there, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, springer season is here. If you're trying to go out and get it now, you're kind of behind the power curve.
Late to the game.
You're late to the party. But yeah, I don't want to get too far into the brines. Like we said, we always usually get the guys from Procure in here, and that's one of my favorite episodes out of the year. Every single year, I've sat and listened to Steve talk, and every single time I learn something new about their products or how things work or what to do or different things. It's amazing. So more to come on the actual process of it. But Jay, what do you like to do? How do you like to brine yours? We never asked you.
I throw them in the brilliant blue.
In the brilliant blue?
Yeah, the blue is my favorite.
And do you do the liquid or do you do this?
I do the liquid.
Okay.
It's just easy for me.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I do like the powder. I just get quart-sized jars, the glass jars.
See, I do Ziploc bags.
Yeah, I do Ziploc too.
The only thing that I've noticed with using the Ziplocs is if you don't have them in like a very controlled environment, they'll roll around so much that they do start to lose scales.
Well,
and stuff.
I go to the river. I usually got four different bags. I got 3. I wouldn't say brines, but like 2 different brines and then a different colored bait.
Yeah.
And then I have like a bag of anchovies or something. And then I put that in my cooler and then I just pack it with ice.
Yeah.
So it kind of keeps everything from wobbling around.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys like the bags? See, I don't like the bags. I'll be honest. I've had the bags, and there's been a couple times where they've leaked in my cooler, or someone's brought them out to get a bait and been an idiot or dropped it.
Ziplocked it.
Yes, or not zipped it, and it just. I don't know. I just don't have the mess. I like the jars, but again, I don't know. The idea of glass on my boat's really not at the top of the list. I wish I had a bunch of the plastic ones that Procure makes, but I do end up using the glass jars, and I feel like mine don't get as beat up as bad. I'll even add extra rock salt because I do use mine over multiple days, and I don't care if they get shriveled. Because the minute you put them back in the water, you'll see they plump right back up.
Yeah.
They may not spin right because they're a little shriveled in the beginning, but a minute or two in the water, they plump back up, they start spinning, they start working great.
Yeah,
and I add extra rock salt to the bottom.
I mean, especially for a guy, like if you're getting off work late or you just pull the trigger on going fishing super late in the day, I mean, rock salt's your friend.
Yeah.
It's just...
No harm, no foul. Like you
add a little salt.
You can. The water can only absorb so much salt, so it's not. I don't think you can do too much. It might shrivel your baits up. They plump right back up. But I just put it in the bottom of my jars, and I put all the fish nose first in, and I don't really care if their heads or their noses get a little beat up because I cut them off.
Yep.
Okay, I got one for you too because you talked about your. You talked about your bait, but one of the key processes, like this guy was saying, to go get your own bait. Yeah. What's the advantage? And I think I know the answer to this, but I want to hear it from you. What's the advantage of going with trade bait versus your own company?
Yeah. So I know quite a few guys. They go down to like that Yaquina Bay herring fishery or Puget Sound and jig their own. The biggest difference, and I'm not just trying to sell you a bait, but you don't get starve time on that bait. These fish that I have in front of us, there's a good chance that they were swimming around in a net pen for up to a month. They have a lot of time to shed that fat and toughen those scales up and toughen the skin. So I think, in my opinion, you get a better quality bait just for the fact that you get that starve time. And I think, especially like guys who fish in the ocean or in the summertime where you're dealing with warmer temperatures, having as durable a bait to start with out of the packaging is key to having it last longer. I think it's great. If you want to go jig them up and catch your own and catch a fish on it, that's freaking awesome. But I really do think there is something to having that starve time and getting all that gunk out of their guts to have a better smelling, just cleaner overall bait.
And
Isn't
firmer
there
too,
something
because I've
to
used
it?
some of the fresh bait, and even I've tried to do that with the anchovies and stuff too. And they're good. You can catch fish on them, but they're not durable. Like they just aren't.
No, and you gotta toothpick them or put them in helmets or salt the heck out of them. These baits right here, you could pull it out of the package and you could run it. So
I just read that.
we agree, Paul.
Yes, Paul. I love that comment. But hey, what I was going to say too is, I've heard things like with the big fat bellies and stuff. Don't you get like a burn in the bottom of the fish possibly?
Well, yeah.
Or
I mean,
not be as durable?
it's just like a salmon or any fish. You kill a fish like an ocean cove, for example. You kill that thing and it's so metabolically hot.
Yeah.
From just feeding 24/7 that it's gonna burn up from the inside out.
Right.
And it's just like it's a raw product. You have a time limit on how much you can use it and how long you can use it.
Yeah.
So the advantage, and that's the whole reason why we've been starving herring for 60 years, is to put a tougher, more durable bait on the market. So.
Yeah. And I said we weren't going to get too much into the brines, but we do have Patrick here. So just really, do you have a favorite flavor? Either scent or color?
I guide for a living, and yes, I do have some secrets, but my favorite, like one of my go-to standards, is a cup of rock salt, a half a cup of that powder, and some Mrs. Stewart's bluing or the Procure bluing, just a couple squirts of it. I'm done.
Yeah.
Dude, that bluing is just insane.
It's just basic, just a simple, it firms up my bait, it puts a little bit of different smell and some chemical in there, and it's just a good, consistently quality bait.
Yeah.
Do you use any buttermilk? This guy says buttermilk, but the guys that do the powdered milk.
Powdered milk.
I mean, are you a powdered milk
That's old
guy?
school.
I've messed with it. I don't use it much. I've played around with it, but some guys swear by it for setting the scales. I think that's why they use it. But I just consistently that powder that Procure makes, that Brining bite, it works for me.
The powdered, I messed with it like 10 years ago to try and make the scale, and it goes bad too. So if you do keep it or do it longer,
one thing you can do,
like it.
one thing you can do with egg cures, powders, or like the powder dye that they offer, put it in the freezer, and it'll make it last. Because your freezers have dehumidifiers on them, so they
pull that
moisture out.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting. And for those of you, you talked about bluing. What is it? It's like I forget, what do you call it? Mrs. What was it?
Mrs. Stewart's. Yeah, it's a laundry product.
Yeah, so you find it in the laundry section. It's a little tiny bluing thing. It's for actually, I think, whitening your clothes is what it's for. And I'm pretty sure Steve said it's basically the same thing they do. They just buy it in huge bulk and relabel it and sell it to fishermen. So, you can buy it either at Fred Meyer or your grocery stores in the laundry section, or you can buy it from Procure.
Yeah. But, there was a question that you pinned. I think it was from Corey a while back. Yeah. Decrease of herring in Puget Sound. Whatever you hear about, like herring shortages and stuff like that, our herring populations in Puget Sound are very healthy. Just like any fishery, anything, there's ups and down cycles. There's 3 of us fishing for trade bait. We impact less than 5% of the total biomass.
So it's not the fish that's the problem, it's the fishermen.
Not the fish, it's the market. Our business is market driven. If there's not a big demand for herring, we're only going to put up as much as we need. We don't need to put up 500 pallets of bait and then just sit on it for God knows how long. So we try, just like anybody, you try to gauge
You're forecasting the market.
You're forecasting your sales in your market, and you're trying to make an educated guess. So any herring shortages you see, it's not because of like a lack of fish. Yes, I've seen bad years herring fishing. Bad years compared to what I've seen, my standard is. But all in all, for the most part, it's all kind of about how the market is, So.
I mean, with anything that sits in a freezer too, if it sits, for a year versus 2 versus 3, it's just not going to be as good quality. So you got to turn that stock over.
How we run our business, we try to time it to where we have zero inventory by the time I go fishing again. And our season is like May through October, somewhere in that ballpark is when we're fishing herring and anchovies. But we try to time it to where we don't have a lot of leftover product because we built our brand and our business on quality, and we don't want to sell the consumer a 2 or 3 year old product.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, this is a good question. Have you noticed sales in herring declining with stuffer baits?
Yes and no. Our fresh markets, like in Astoria and in Puget Sound and stuff, have gone down. Due to the evolution, not so much stuffer baits, but just the 360 fishing.
Yeah.
The buoy 10 fishery really transformed. What was it, Cameron? 2014, 2013. That's when you saw the decline in the fresh bait market. And, it's just what it is. It's not like, it sucks. I want to sell as much bait as I can, but at the same time, being a sport fisherman myself, I understand it.
It's evolution, man.
Well, I know what you like, but there's nothing wrong with cutting up some of your bait.
Yeah,
putting
you can cut it up.
Stuffer baits as well, right?
Yep, and that was one thing, like I said in the podcast, I was giving a shout out to Jared at Yakima, if you can't find some red labels or oranges or whatever, those new cut plug things they came out with, they look just like a red label.
Yeah.
Get a chrome one or a blue scale one and stuff it with tuna or chopped up bait, and why not?
Blue scale, man.
Go for it, man.
Yeah.
Blue scale, because what does it look like? That.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, so now we've talked about what you do, how you do it, your whole process, how to pick out bait, how to brine it. Now the next step is fishing it.
Yeah, fish
so what do you talk us through what you like to do?
Cutter or no cutter?
I'm a cutter guy. I got the same cutter. I saw a question about that earlier. I have the same Folby cut box that I've had forever since I started guiding. I get a good cut out of it, so I just use it. It's consistent. I cut my bait in the morning. I don't cut all my bait. If I got 4 dudes going fishing with me, I cut 2 passes worth of bait. Because I think when you cut the bait and it's sitting in the jar or the bag, I think you get the edges flared sometimes, bouncing around. I cut a handful in the morning. If I see a fish that I don't like, or I didn't get a good cut on it, or if I wasn't paying attention,
your spin's not right.
Yeah, I toss it out. I throw a lot of bait away. I hook that herring up. To me, you hook that herring up, just floating down the river, you throw it over the side. If it ain't spinning like right now, here we go, get it out of there.
So you don't try rehooking them or anything? You just toss it and use a freshie?
Because the whole point of triangle fishing on the bottom, you're trying to go as slow as you can. So you want that bait to be able to spin at as slow a speed as possible. There's a lot of times I'm going down the river in neutral or bumping it into reverse to get it to go as slow as I can. With the water being so cold or murky sometimes, you gotta give, or the tide's ripping out, you gotta give those fish as best of a chance to get their eyes on it.
Yeah.
So
you use the Folby one,
I use the Folby plug cutter.
That's the little green one.
Green one. Procure makes one. Lots of different guys do it.
Procure has a couple. They have one that has the small, medium. They have multiple different angles on theirs.
Yeah.
I'll get to it though. What plug cutter do you use? There's the yellow Danielson one.
Folby.
There's the Folby one.
The green Folby one.
There's a lot. I know Nick is very specific. Remember when Nick lost his cutter or he brought it on someone's boat? Like he was willing
No, what he did is he brought it on my boat and then left it. And then I put it on the Addicted Fishing Forum on Facebook and said, highest bidder, who wants it?
I think Nick was willing to bid $1,000 to get that thing back. Yeah. So for those of you
I think he had a few of them of that exact kind, but I was thinking that was like his one special one. I was like, ooh, I got him now.
There's lots of guys, that don't use a cutter, and the nice thing about that is that the way they cut it, it's not like they put their own little spin on it, like it's just a little bit different.
Yeah.
I am just not that coordinated to get that consistent of a cut. Yeah. Like you put a tape measure in my hand and ask me to do anything carpenter related, it's not going to be.
That's why I use a cut. I mean, I'm not a pro at anything, but that's why I use.
I'll freehand them sometimes, but it's when the spin isn't really
the one thing you don't like.
I would say Cameron I see him freehanding almost all of his.
If you're gonna use like a helmet, like a Dick Sure spin or something, you don't need a cutter. You just kind of get it, halfway lined up with the helmet. So
back when I was like 16, 17, I stepped on my first charter boat job in Milwaukee, and I asked the captain, I go, "Where's the cut plug cutter?" And he said, he looked at me, he goes, "Those are for commies."
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I guess I gotta learn how to do it this way then.
I'm Canadian, but I'm not commie.
Yeah, no, I mean most guys. Jesus.
Yeah, post that hashtag I'm Canadian.
Most guys, they like cut bait. Running a whole herring is great. You get a little different look, a little different spin. Your bait lasts forever with a whole bait. You could use.
Well, that's why I wish I had me some reds.
Yeah.
Whole baits,
no. Sorry, man.
I slept on it. I know what I'm doing next.
Whole bait's really good. Put in a helmet.
Huh? Nothing.
No. So whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you got confidence in. I use a cutter. I cut a few in the morning, and I go from there.
What side of your cutter?
I use the coho side because it gives you the sharpest angle, and you don't get as much of a tail kick. So that meaning by that is when I put that bait in the water, and the way I rig up a herring with just a standard mooching setup, 2-3/0 hooks, about 4 finger widths apart, that bait is spinning on itself, and it doesn't have a super big wide tail flop. And I think you can get that bait to spin easier at a slower speed.
Yeah.
I have seen times, and other guys will have, like, you hook one up and it's just like a helicopter out there. It works. If the fish are just not reacting to the look you're giving them, just changing it up to something like that.
See, I think you just have to have confidence in it. So it looks, whatever you like, if you like it like that, I'd say fish it, right? But
it's like me, I don't use a 3-hook setup. I think it just ruins my spin on my bait. I use 2 hooks. Some guys swear by 3 hooks. I use 20 or 25 pound leader in the springtime. We have drags for a reason, let the fish run, play them out. To me, herring fishing is more of a finesse type of thing, whereas like 360 and spinners, it's more of a powerhouse kind of fishery. I'm trying to be very finesse with it. I'm using as light a lead as I can and as little line and as little throttle as I can, and I'm just trying to be as natural as I can going through the water. Now, that being said, having a big old bright green or orange flasher isn't very natural, but I just want to be as finessed as possible, in my opinion.
Do you ever fish herring behind a 360?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the smaller ones, to me, a green label's a little big, in my opinion. I think it puts a little too much drag and weight behind that flasher. Some guys do it. I like the red and orange labels for that. I know guys, I don't really fish buoy 10 personally, but guys out there, they do really good on it. Or in the summertime, for the summer Chinook, when the temperature's a little higher, I know guys who have done really well doing it.
Yeah. Will you cut a green label down to get it to where
firecracker? You talking about?
I guess in a pinch I would. I don't.
He has,
because I'm the herring guy.
I don't have red, so I will firecracker mine this season.
Just because, I think it's disproportionate, kind of.
Sure.
It is.
You know, but you could. That's when I would probably, if I had to, I would opt for a plastic bait if I needed to. If I needed
You
to go
choose that
small.
over a fresh.
Well, if I didn't have it, I would choose a plastic bait over manipulating a big bait into a small bait. That just, to me, it just doesn't seem right.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
It ain't right.
But at the same time, you catch salmon and they got heads of herring in their guts.
Oh yeah.
And they're just picking up scraps going down the bottom. So it's like, whatever, you know.
Do you
To
leave
each
the
his own.
guts? Do you leave
I pull the
out?
guts out.
Same.
Yeah, me too.
I know
Cameron,
guys. I
Now
know
do
guys
you-
who swear leaving the guts in.
Do you
though.
put the cut in the butt?
Yes. Yeah. I trim the tail. I put a little vent in the butt, so you know the water flows out easier. I think
Can
it gets a better spin.
Oh, do we have?
Can we cut plug one? Can we?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Is this gonna?
Cut one.
I mean, we're gonna go into this in depth, but like, I want to get the herring guy. Like, he is the freaking herring guy.
To actually cut
like,
one,
cut one,
or
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Do we have an
Hey,
idea?
Josh, can you still drift a herring down the river? Yeah, you can. The guys in Puget Sound, they bobber fish herring
I
off
have
the
a knife in my
beaches
truck.
all the time, and anchovies. It works really good for
When they do that, are
and
they
chum
cut plugging
salmon.
them, or do they just drift them whole?
I think they do both. I know the guys who love fishing like anchovies under a bobber for chum salmon. It's just they're just throwing a whole anchovy on and just letting it dead drift down the river.
hey, do you have a do you have a hook set up so we can show like?
I don't.
Huh?
I don't, because we were kind of talking about the herring. I wanted to have this live feed really be about the care
Yeah.
and like the importance of like
Richard,
taking care of your herring.
to whatever you're comfortable with. If it was me, I personally take the guts out of the fish. Some guys, they swear by.
Well,
guts.
I will say this: a lot of times, if mine are still, if I don't get the time in the brine and they're still a little frozen, I have left my guts in to just experiment, and usually just for like maybe a pass. And then when I bring them up, if there's any of those guts hanging out, then I pull them the rest of the way out. Right. So there are times where I have left them in, but they don't stay in for very long usually, because the problem is if I just feel like if you do leave them in, when they start to get, you know, when they're frozen and the guts start coming out, that's what really seems to blow my belly open. Right. It starts dragging and it blows the belly open.
No,
so.
I mean, like I said, this is a finesse fishery. You spend the time and the money to go out and do it. You know, fishing or any recreation is not cheap anymore these days. Buy a good quality tray of bait, whether it's from me or whoever else is putting up herring, but take the time to get a good quality tray of bait. Try to get it from like a bigger chain store, you know, like a Fisherman's or a Sportco.
Someone that's going through
Someone's who's cycling through a lot more bait, so you don't run that chance of getting old bait.
Yeah.
And just look for those eyes. Look for, you know, minimal brown stuff or you know, just freezer burnt looking fins and stuff, and just try to get the best you can. I mean, it's $8-9.
Well, that's probably the cheapest thing in fishing that we do. I mean, you can hardly get a spinner these days for a price of a tray of herring.
It's $8-9 at the store. I mean, it's one of the cheaper expenses in the whole gamut of cost when it comes to fishing.
Let's see this.
Yeah,
I know you don't freehand, but I mean, this is, of course, this
I think
he normally uses a cutter.
I
Just
think we
give
cut
guys,
three.
like,
Just to give you an idea of what we do. I mean, you can
chose
picture
the
this
best
in a
looking
cutter.
one.
Yeah. So I saw a guy in the comments earlier saying that the size is BS. You know, a green label herring, they're packaging 8-9 inch bait when they're supposed to be 6. That, to me, that is on the smaller side of a green. That, if I was to take a tape measure to it, that's right at 6 inches. I could make that a red or a green when I'm trying bait. I mean, that's,
I don't know.
for
Let
me,
see it.
for me, spring salmon fishing. You dirty dog.
Well, they're all laughing like children.
Yeah, I know. It's like a South Park episode. Dude. That to me is what you're looking for.
Oh, that's a good looking.
You know, I got
Perfect. There's like
Dude,
one
between
I got
scale.
one scale missing there.
That
but,
one and maybe
but
like that one.
you know, not to throw myself under the bus, but I will.
Well, that was probably more the bag to be, because these were frozen.
So you can see these scales, they're trying to come off already. You can see the differences, you know, they're missing. It's missing a couple.
Yeah, but that was honestly, you just pulled, these were frozen right before we started the live feed. So.
This one is even a little bit smaller. So I would be willing to bet when we were traying fish, it was right in the time of year when I was going from reds to greens. So we had a little bit of both. So we're probably traying both. And one of the guys, like, if it was me packaging bait, that's a red label to me.
Yeah,
that's a
there's some
label.
bigger ones, like some of those.
Yeah,
like that other one.
Well, that one.
I'd say right there. Yeah.
See, this is one thing you don't want to do when you're traying bait. See how they're stuck together? Me, I don't pull them apart when I brine them.
No, because it'll pull off. Right. Yeah.
You have the
scales.
You run the risk of pulling scales off. These are thought out enough where they kind of pull apart easy.
I watch all these guys say, "Oh, just poke a hole in it, let it thaw for an hour."
No,
mine is literally probably 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah,
I bet,
it takes a while. But like I said, I cut the tray open, I pull the tray out, and since I'm using bags, I just dump the whole thing in. It's just like a big flap going into the bag.
Yeah.
But you can see, we didn't pop the seal. See how the blood's coming out?
Yeah.
If you see that in a store, I probably wouldn't buy that bait because it tells me that it was thawed out and refrozen at some point in time. You can see the white eyes are starting to go away and you're starting to get blood coming out. I would try to avoid that.
And so could everyone see that on the camera? Are you seeing the blood? And that's just starting. If you left that vacuum sealed and let it completely thaw out, you're going to see a lot of blood in there. Yeah. And just compare that now to this tray that we poked the hole in. You don't see a drop of blood, nothing in there. Okay?
You can put all these herring out. Yeah. And you got just a little bit from when we were just thawing it out. You want just
smells so good.
A nice, clean, dry bait is what you're looking for.
Hey, put those back on that tray so they're not on.
Oh, Jesus, Clint. Okay, so plug cutting it, cut plugging it, whatever you want. You take your knife. You're going at a beveled angle? Yeah. That's what we call it?
I say
a 45, 45.
So
I say we freehand 3 of them and see who has the best one.
So you go 90, right? You go 45, and you tip your knife towards the head 45. And the key is a sharp knife. Yeah. Our friend Casey, he suggested, I think it's called Outdoor Edge. It's like they're like razor blades.
Yeah. You can replace
they're interchangeable.
Yeah, they're surgical blades.
Yeah, a nice, sharp, thin bait knife.
Yeah.
So anyways, we go 90, 45, 45. And you're not wanting to do a sawing motion. You want one clean swath.
Yeah.
So you end up with nice crisp edges.
How do you remove the guts?
So right now, like I would not pull the guts out right now. I would let them get thawed out more. I take some needle nose pliers or some hemostat pliers, and you put them in there and you give it a little twist and you just pull them all out. And if you did it right, they pull all out in one.
I've seen guys use like a shucker.
Yeah, you could do that, or some guys like put their knife in there and twist it. I just use some pliers. I pull them all out.
If they're defrosted, I just lay it on its side and put the other side down. Just give it a little push on the belly to where they start to stick out, and then I'll literally use the knife to pin those guts down and hold them against the cutting board, and then just pull the herring out. And trying not to drag it against any of the sides or anything, right? But just squeeze it a little bit, pin it with your knife, pull it, and they usually. But it's not going to do it right now. These are still frozen.
So how do you? You said you trim your tails. How do you trim your tails?
So I take a pair of scissors. I'll use a knife here, but you just cut, and you're making a pennant.
You gotta show it, Clint. Look at the screen.
Okay, I'll give you guys.
That herring is so pretty. You can see like the blue scales.
I'm not gonna be able to cut it very good.
Scissors.
Yeah, scissors. You cut, and you're just making a triangle to that bait.
There's a pair down here.
Some guys don't believe in it. It's just how I was taught.
Look at that. That should have been the thumbnail right there. The knife with the headless hair. Look at that.
Blue scale freaking herring. That herring is so fresh and so beautiful.
Look at the colors on that.
That sheen on that is ridiculous.
Yeah, it looks great.
We don't have the scissors, but you guys get the point. And then I take my knife and I go right here up his butt and I make just a small little incision to give it some more water flow. And I think it helps spin that bait more.
Oh, my.
Other guys, you go 90. You can go 20-degree angle. Some guys go super wide. You know, you see the difference in the angle. See how I marred that bait up a little bit?
I like that first one better.
Yeah, that one I think will give you a little wider roll.
More of a tail flop?
Yeah, I think it will. I think it takes a little more speed to spin that bait. But depending on where you're fishing, the currents or the tides or what have you, or how you like to fish, maybe that's better for you.
Yeah. Okay, Jason, you're up. Freehand one. Patrick, put yours aside. Which one do you want to be in the competition?
Mine.
Oh.
You can tell.
Here we go. Shots fired. So this is.
You gotta eat the head for good luck. He said, not agree with him.
No, absolutely not. Jesus.
Come on, Charles, get in.
Oh.
I'll leave that one for you.
What? We're going to have Cameron do one too, because Cameron actually is the one out of all three of us that actually freehands these. So look where you're starting. Oh, look at that sign. Yeah.
So Jason, being in the
garbage.
tribs mostly, I mean, are you running them like that? Or are you running them whole, helmeted? How would you run a herring for spring salmon in a tributary?
I cut plug them just like that.
Did everyone just
Usually
see how he used the knife and just pinned those guts? Even though it was frozen like that, they still pulled out perfect and did not damage the bait. So, nice
Yeah,
job.
you got to do that pretty gingerly if you're going to do it. You definitely don't want to do it with any kind of frozen herring. You're better off putting it in the water for like.
I'm already liking
I'm a
Patrick.
little flat. I'm out of practice.
Okay.
I never do.
Aspiring guide Clint.
Oh.
Although remember, he already according.
He got his license.
Clint's
Yeah.
booking
He's already
trips
booking trips
apparently.
for
No,
Wednesday.
that was me doing a
And
cam.
he said Wednesday,
Fish
so he's
and
already
game.
illegal
Washington
guide, illegal
State.
guide.
Clint
Oh my God.
has
You guys are
March
idiots.
13th through April 6th available right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, if
4
I was a
seats
guide,
every day.
you know what my Facebook would look like right now? Hey guys, I had an open seat come open. I have an open seat and list every day of Springer fishing until it closes.
I know guys who are doing that.
I'm not.
Guarantee catch, money back.
Yeah.
All right,
Come on, let's see this
here we go. Oh, Cam's gonna.
garbage.
Oh my God, Cameron.
Look at that, he's pushing too hard. Use the knife edge. There you go. Garbage.
That's
It's
quality.
Garbage.
That's quality.
So we should mix these up and then have Cam be the judge.
Stuff it with tuna. One guy says. There you go.
So watch. So this is what I do because Jason was able to do. Oh, I don't.
Why are you?
God.
No.
See the scales you're pulling off, God,
less
rookie,
that.
dude.
I'm less that.
I'm
Just patience.
because it's
patience.
I know, but I'm just for
Don't-
demonstration purposes.
Don't mess with
Dude,
it.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. Mine is not.
We got that trip book, Clint. Don't forget about it. Get out of here.
A little bit.
Clint's getting arrested. Clint's getting arrested.
Cam just wants to be my cellmate. That's why he's getting excited.
Don't sell me.
Okay.
Yeah, Cam, come
No,
on.
I'm good.
Cam, come on. You're the only one that does this.
Dude, I'm like chilling tonight. This is great.
No,
this
come
is
on.
really fantastic.
Are you really enjoying yourself?
Yeah.
All right. So we don't need to really get into. What else can we talk? Let's
We're
let
gonna
some people-
really get into rigging, hook
Yeah.
placement, and a bunch of other stuff. But I mean, just kind of hearing, kind of like the people were asking questions. And if you guys have any other questions, really pertaining to the herring themselves, and maybe like the care and the storage and the, Patrick, I think you need to go through some locations where you can get, your harbor herring, your Puget Sound herring. So if you guys have any other questions, now's the time. We're going to run for about another.
I'm gonna get a prize pack. going,
Exact. Thank you. We're going to run for about another 5 or 10 minutes. Any other questions, guys, you got for Patrick here? He is the herring guru. He is the guy catching your bait. So what's up?
Before I go there, BMAC, the gold standard above Bonneville in the old days was a cut plug herring
4 ounce
Or-
weight and a couple of herring.
or-
A bait and a weight.
or a wiggle wart.
That's how I remember.
You can still catch them up there doing that. I think the biggest problem is that just like any major troll fishery, just the ways guys are doing it is just different. 90% of the guys are 360 fishing, and it's just two different presentations. And I just don't think you can fish the same way cohesively in a lot of those spots. But they still catch them. There's still guys who catch them in the Hanford Reach in the fall time on a herring. So
No, I think you're right. Like in the really dense areas, that troll, that bottom tapping kind of troll is a little bit different, but you can still do it in some of the little wider areas, or if you're in the main lake, don't be afraid to at all. They're a springer. They eat herring.
Yeah.
They love herring.
As far as getting a hold of some herring, if you don't have it yet and you're looking for it, you know, Sportco Outdoor Emporium up in Puget Sound has it. Fisherman's, I think, has my product. D&G Bait has it. Out on the coast, you can go to Tackle Time, Big Game Fishing. Crackerjack Bait over there in Chinook. My product it's starting to get around everywhere. But whether you buy mine or someone else's, just keep in mind what I was showing you as far as the quality of the bait. Don't short yourself. You know, take the time, go to a couple different tackle shops and get what you want. Don't skimp on the bait.
Marlon's gonna kill me. Do not do this now or yet, but we might be able to buy your products here in the Addictive store soon. So not yet. It's not set up yet. Patrick had the whole back of his truck filled up with cases of herring for me. Yeah. And had
just
no
for
room
you.
for the freezer.
Yeah. So that's the plan. We're gonna have it here in the Addicted store. It's not gonna be, you know, a pallet of bait down here. It's gonna be, you know, whenever I can get down here and replenish it, and we're gonna have a little freezer and
yeah, sorry.
rock it.
I'm not doing that to you. I'm doing that to the comics. Guys, I am not a guy.
I want to see Clint get arrested. Come on.
I'm not a guy. That was me impersonating or being Cameron. Since Cameron is not in the live feed, I'm never up here. That was me pretending to be Cameron. I am not a guy.
But he is.
I am not.
He's just an under the table guy.
You guys are idiots.
He's on Craigslist. It's Facebook Marketplace. Just leave the money in the Bible, honey.
And I still book more trips now.
I knew it.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I got it recording.
You guys are idiots. I got it recorded. Do you have group rates? Okay, I don't even know what. I am not a guide. Not a guide. Came in late. What company does he own? So again, Patrick, you own multiple companies.
Well,
right?
I don't own it. My boss, I guess, who owns the boat, he is the main owner of it. I'm the captain of the boat. I help oversee everything. But it's Harbor Herring and Point Defiance Herring are the two labels that are from us.
Well, you have another company as well that you own.
Well, yes, I am a guide.
Oh, see, there you go.
A real one.
What's your guide?
A licensed, insured guide.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I run Gaffney's guide service, and I fish about 6 months a year, and I'm Southwest Washington, Columbia River, Grace Harbor, sled trips mainly. So, yeah.
And how can people get a hold of you?
My cell phone number.
Yeah.
On my website, which is gaffneyfishing.com. Or, you know, you can get a hold of these guys. I guess I'll give my number out. 253-432-1126.
Sorry, I don't have any lower thirds built. My bad.
Yeah, Cameron's producing tonight.
If I can't get you taken care of, I've got lots of friends who are reputable, safe, fishy guides. I do have, shameless plug, I do have April 2nd open still. So.
Ooh, hey. And let's be honest, for all you guys out there doing warm-up trips in March, unlike Charles who actually catches them in March, because he's like the only guy I know who does, let's be real, April 2nd's a good damn date.
Because it closes on what, the 5th?
The 6th. Well, maybe, you never
we'll
know.
See.
Yeah.
Earlier,
Plan
later.
on it closing the 6th, and, you know, go steelhead fishing after, or go to the other tribs, and, you know.
Let's give this just a little bit longer here. Now is your time. We've kind of done our run through. If you have any lasting questions that you want to know about herring, storing, keeping, all that type of stuff specific to herring, get them in now. We're going to get a prize pack going away. So we talked about stuffer baits. We got a mini cut plug here from Brad's. I got a little plethora of Brad's stickers. So if you're like me, I do have a lot of stickers. And I got a Zero Fit hat. So,
dude, you're cheaping out. You can't put this on a hook. Here, throw that in too. Yeah, you can do it. It's fine.
All right.
It's fine.
Patrick Gaffney, everybody. Marlon's not here. All right. So
exactly.
We're going to
give away the farm. Everything on the back
away
wall.
some Pro Cure chartreuse. I was kind of going to take that home with me, but that's fine. Someone's going to get it tonight. A Brad's cut plug, some Brad's stickers, and a Zero Fit hat. So, just keep commenting below. The more times you comment, the more times you're entered to win by our lovely randomizer tonight. She's amazing. Her name is Cameron Black. And she randomizes and picks well. And I don't get blamed for it. Because I always get blamed. Everyone hates on me like it's my fault for picking people. And then Cameron always seems to know the person. Wow, weird. Imagine that. Blames it on
Let me answer this real quick. Richard asks, how long can I keep frozen herring before
Have
using?
Cameron pin it. Come on, Cameron. Producer, can you pin the comment?
Would
that
you
we're looking
shut
for?
up? A good vacuum sealed bait. I have personally ran guided trips and caught plenty of fish on 3-year-old bait. That's my personal bait. I don't try selling that, but I've used it up to 3 years old.
I have a couple of trays that I bought last year that I'll definitely be using.
Any longer than that, any longer, in my honest opinion, like a year or two, if you can, I would probably turn it into sturgeon or bottomfish bait, just to be safe.
And see, I do that too. That's another good point, right? So I do.
What are you hiding, Patrick?
What?
What are you hiding?
I do that with, because I told you I usually have 6 jars of different things going in my boat, and I usually have about a tray or a tray and a half.
6 jars, 6 seats, right? 6 seats you're running.
Oh my god, you're an idiot. No, my boat doesn't even hold 6 people. Idiots. But I do that. I'll use them for a couple days, and then I'll literally just, since they're already brined, I'll drain it all, put them in a Ziploc, put them in my freezer. I use them for sturgeon. I have not used them for bottom fish because I have not done that, but I plan on. But I do keep all mine. If you go in my freezer right now, there's a huge bag from last year.
Yeah. Jason, it's called Mrs. Stewart's Bluing, is the stuff you can find at Fred Meyer or any grocery
It's in
store.
the laundry section. You'll find it and it's small. It's in a blue bottle with a white label with an old lady on it.
Nico, anchovies. I do catch and produce and sell anchovies. It's not nearly as big of a market for us as the herring. Typically, my anchovies are a little bit on the bigger side, 5.5 inches and up. But yeah, we do catch them where I fish, and they work great for salmon. I almost always have a jar or a tray of anchovies in the boat to use when I'm salmon fishing.
Here's another good question. BMAC asks, how long do they last after you brine them?
For me, after I'm done for the day, I dump them in the river. I don't use second day old brine bait. Some guys swear by, 2-3 week old bait. I don't do it. That's just not how I was taught to do it and what I have confidence in. So if you can, fresh is always best in my opinion.
I agree.
I'll go 3 days.
Yeah,
3 days, and then I'm gonna freshen them up.
I do. I will do the same.
But
it's
I'm also
1 day of
not
brining and
using
2 days. But I keep
6
them.
of them.
But I keep mine in the boat, in a cooler with ice. So my bait's always in a cooler by itself with ice, kept cold all day long.
And what, ours are on the hibachi all day? Everybody uses a cooler and ice.
Well, you'd be surprised. Oh, Cameron. All right, for no other questions. So here's a good question. What did you guys think? You want me in more live feeds or no? Patrick says no, because I don't shut up. Did you guys enjoy?
Are you not entertained?
Were you entertained? If not,
If
I
it's
will
a subject,
refund.
okay, to be fair, the reason why I figured today would be a good day to switch is because you do actually
I
go
do.
out and troll a lot of
I
spring.
try.
Steelhead, you just suck.
No, yeah, I don't.
So, like, we know that.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
like,
not-
you
I got
actually
it on
do
camera
go
of him
out.
sucking too.
What's that?
I got it on film of him sucking too.
Oh, yeah, dude. It took an act of Congress and freaking God to get him a couple of them. I can tell you that much. But, yeah, so quick.
How many did you get that day?
I got
He's the
none
guy.
that day, but I had to guide your happy
He's
ass.
driving the boat.
I had to
It
drive
don't
your
matter.
boat.
He was fishing the whole time,
Nah.
and he was the first one through. How many did he hook? I didn't even take a hand off. And I even
I
cracked
thought you
some
like
off.
handies.
Ooh, oh my.
Whoa, I'm
That
talking
took a
about
turn.
what?
Did you see that eye contact? You get a weird
Okay.
Just
Oh, okay.
All right, so again, we got the
Give the
prize
prize
back
away.
going.
Holy smokes!
Yeah,
man.
sure. What's the-
randomizer?
Randomizer, we out here? Randomizing.
Ed Gunderson, I'll be on the lower Columbia River above Longview Bridge.
Yeah, Ed Gunderson, I would recommend doing that because if you're gonna pick a
above the Long Beach.
if you're gonna pick a Springer day, anything
I got a whole on the second.
that first week of April is bomb. It's worth doing. Highly recommend. We're gonna.
Well, the first week of April is really that's the only week you may see
Some
Cameron.
years, some years maybe earlier. I don't want to be
we
like.
got Charles in here too from Bonkamall Adventures. Everybody,
He's
in
only
the
the
back
one
and,
catching them.
Yeah, Charles, do you have any dates available?
I do.
Which ones?
Into March and the last week of April until I think I have the first.
So end of
second,
March
and fourth.
So
End of March.
if you guys want to get out on the big river with Charles, go to his website. I think it's Bonkamall
.com. Nope.
Bonkamall Adventures.
Didn't you have a lower third made for that?
Bonkamall.com.
Okay, sorry, I didn't make the website.
Didn't you have a title screen made for that?
Maybe.
From
I don't
last
know.
time?
No, it'll be over on the right.
Get
side.
a hold of Charles.
Bonkamall.com. Bonk MEM.com.
That's so funny.
He's got all the information on there, just like Cameron's, just like Jason's. There's a little link you can
Google it.
fill out a book a trip. It's bonkamall.com. It's super easy. It's not hard.
And I have, I think, 5 days left in my Springer season for the tributaries. So if you want to get out on the trib and the drift boat and the raft, let me know.
I have
Check
none.
out my website.
I was just gonna say what you were doing, Jason. I was gonna be like,
I have
and
none.
Clint's got 4
I have none
more
left.
because
I have
his schedule's
none,
full.
wow.
I mean, we're just speaking the lower Columbia season. This spring run goes all the way into June. So,
It was all the way to the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
4th of July, too.
probably fish my tributary season until about the second week of June this year, and then
Yeah.
I'll kind of be transitioning into summer steelhead. But yeah,
All right.
Okay.
We're doing it?
Let's
We're
go for
randomizing it. All right.
Randomizer. Let's go.
Thanks for
Prize pack.
tuning in, guys. We also filmed a great podcast with Patrick beforehand.
Podcast will be out this weekend. It's going to
Yep.
be what we basically did here, a little more in depth on some
Yeah.
things from Patrick and Cameron.
A lot of fun, guys.
not so much me. I don't fish a lot of herring.
And here is our winner. Oh, gosh.
Nice.
John E says,
I like pancakes. Come on.
I love
Well,
lamp. Anyone's
nice, bro.
movie quote? Anyone know what that's from?
Nope.
All right, never mind.
Sucks to suck.
All right, so John B, email orders@addicted.fishing. Let them know that you won the Brads and the Zero Fit hat. Make sure you include your address. Send that in from tonight's live feed. The boys will get it shipped off to you. It smells good in here.
I was gonna say it actually
It really does.
What are we gonna do with all this?
All right, guys. Next week, I think we're just gonna depend on our guests, but it'll probably be the little more intricacies on brining and on like actually rigging those cut plugs to hooks and setups and all that good stuff. Because if you think about it, by the time next week comes, it's like 2 more weeks. Columbia's closed.
Yeah,
So-
it's go time.
Yeah,
next
it
week.
is absolute go time, guys. So thanks
It
for
is
tuning
go
in
time.
tonight. We'll talk about it next week. Anything else, boys?
No, we'll see you on the river
That's it.
for sure.